Being cut from your high school team probably means that your basketball dream is over before it even started. But there is one guy who believed in himself, put in the work, and got on top of the basketball world. Whether we want to believe it or not, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the best basketball player today. He came all the way from being cut from his high school junior team and getting traded twice in his first year as a pro, while the fans were struggling to even pronounce his name right, all the way to becoming the league MVP, an NBA champion, and signing the highest per-year contract in NBA history. Shai was born in 1998 in Toronto, Canada, as the first child of Charmaine Gilgeous and Vaughn Alexander, both of Antiguan descent. His father played high school basketball, winning a Toronto City championship while attending Georges Vanier Secondary School in the early 1990s, while his mother was even more successful, competing in the 400-meter race for Antigua and Barbuda at the 1992 Summer Olympics in Barcelona. Basketball was not a big deal in Canada in the 2000s when Shai started balling, but he was all in and had someone to compete with. His first cousin, Nickeil Alexander Walker, was only 2 months younger than him, and it was nothing but hooping all day long. Who could have predicted that these two kids would take their battles from the playgrounds of Toronto to the biggest scene in the world? Shai started his high school journey at the local St. Thomas More in Hamilton, where he couldn't even make it to the junior team. At the time, he was an undersized point guard with no confidence in his shooting, but quitting was not an option. Shai transferred to Sir Allan McNabb High School, where things started to look way more promising, and soon he outgrew the competition. Aware of his talent and the direction he wants to go, Shai transferred to Hamilton Heights Christian Academy in Chattanooga, Tennessee, for his senior year to play alongside his cousin. Shai was the best player on the team, averaging 18.4 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. He was a 4-star recruit, and after first committing to Florida, he decided to go to Kentucky and play for Coach John Calipari, while facing much tougher competition for playing time with the Wildcats. At first, it seemed like Shai would have a tough time finding any minutes, but as the season progressed, he showed what he got.
Me, Bam, and Malik actually went back after we got drafted, and the guys were there, and Shai was kind of the, not necessarily unknown guy, but I don't think he was McDonald's All-American, and they had a couple, and I think he was like the lowest ranked out of the guy. I think he was still like top 50 or whatever, but he was like the lowest ranked out of all the guys, and we go and we play pickup. And I'm like, yo, I think he's gonna be the best player on the team.
And no doubt, he did. After starting only 2 of the first 15 games of the season, Shai became a regular starter for the rest of the year and averaged 14.4 points, 5.1 assists, and 4.1 rebounds per game in the regular season. His breakout performance came in a 90-61 win over state rival Louisville, when he scored 24 points and added 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. His college career high of 30 points came in an 83-81 overtime win over Vanderbilt. The Wildcats finished the regular season with a 21-10 record, but still managed to win the SEC tournament, with Shai averaging 21 points in 3 wins over Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee. Then came the real deal, the NCAA tournament. The Wildcats survived a tight one against Davidson in the first round, winning 78-73 with Shai recording 15 points and 9 assists. In the second round against Buffalo, he was even better with 27 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists in a 95-75 blowout win. The Wildcats looked like a real contender at that point, but they were stunned by Kansas State in a 61-58 loss as Shai scored 15, but made only 2 of 10 field goal attempts. Following his freshman season, there were many who believed that Shai should stay in college for at least 1 more year, but he had other plans.
I'll be entering my name to that 2018 NBA draft, and I'll be signed with an agent.
Going into the draft, Shai was praised for his 6'11" wingspan and an 8'8" standing reach, but the lack of muscle and his 180 pounds put him in the bottom 3 of the guards at the draft combine. When the big night came, Shai was selected 11th overall by the Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets were one of the worst teams in the league at the time, but had a couple of young and promising shooting guards on the team, such as Jeremy Lamb and Malik Monk, and decided to immediately trade Shai to the Clippers.
I'm really excited. Have one of the best fan bases in the world. Also, I feel like they're in need for what I bring to the table, and I think I'll be a really good fit for them.
Shai ended up with the Clippers, who were coached by Doc Rivers at the time, who wasn't someone who gave much of a chance to rookies. He had a solid summer league performance, averaging 19 points, 4.8 rebounds, 4 assists, Those numbers were quite impressive, and Shai showed that he was ready for the big challenge. Of course, he started the season on the bench, but only 9 games into the schedule, Shai made his first start for the Clippers. Doc Rivers had Avery Bradley and Patrick Beverley ahead of Shai on the shooting guard position, but their impact on the team's offense was not as expected. That's where Shai jumped into the spotlight. The Clippers won 10 of the first 12 games that Shai started in. That included the 5-game win streak in mid-November, when the Clippers rattled off consecutive wins over the Milwaukee Bucks, Golden State Warriors, and San Antonio Spurs. During that time, Shai posted averages of 12.9 points, 3.9 rebounds, and 3.1 assists across 30.3 minutes per game. With less than 2 months in his rookie season, Shai proved everybody that he belonged on the floor. He was named a member of the world team representing Canada for the 2019 Rising Stars Challenge. He kept the starting role for the rest of the season, and Doc Rivers showed that he believed in the young fella. The Clippers finished 8th in the Western Conference with a 48-34 record and faced the defending champions, the Golden State Warriors, in the opening playoff round. The Clippers were solid in that series, winning a pair of games, but the Warriors were too big of a bite. Shai finished his rookie season averaging 10.8 points, 3.3 rebounds, 2.8 assists, and 1.2 steals in 26.5 minutes per game while appearing in all 82 games in the season, and was named to the All-Rookie second team. That was a solid season for the Clippers, given their current roster, but team owner Steve Ballmer was ready to do what it takes to make them a championship contender once again. Kawhi Leonard was coming off a championship season with the Raptors, and he clearly stated that he is not planning to stay in Toronto. Instead, he wanted to play in his hometown, and the Lakers were the favorites to sign the reigning NBA Finals MVP. However, the Clippers front office did not back down from the race and promised Kawhi that they would surround him with enough talent to be able to compete for the championship. And there comes the twist for Shai. Despite his excellent rookie season, Shai was just a piece of the package the Clippers sent to OKC for Paul George.
What did the Clippers do so right that convinced Kawhi Leonard to sign with them?
Well, they traded for Paul George tonight, and they are sending to Oklahoma City essentially a record collection of draft picks, 4 first-round picks, 4 unprotected future first-round picks, a protected future first-round pick, 2 pick swaps, and outstanding rookie point guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari for Paul George.
Just like that, the Clippers were seen as the hottest teams in the league with Kawhi and Paul George coming home to LA, and Shai had to start all over in Oklahoma City. Going from a starting job on a playoff team in one of the biggest markets in the league to Oklahoma City, where the Thunder were in a rebuilding process, was not a scenario Shai was happy about. But, as many times before, the Thunder GM, Sam Presti, knew what he was doing. He was definitely aware of Shai's potential and saw the Canadian as the cornerstone for the future. Presti was ready to be patient and had no high expectations of the team going into the 2019-20 season. Chris Paul and Dennis Schroeder were still there to bring stability and leadership to the point guard position, and Shai could focus on playing the shooting guard position without having to carry the ball. That was a great role for the 20-year-old, and when his former team was in town, Shai was ready to go. He tied his career high of 32 points in a 118-112 win over the Clippers, and the Thunder were playing much better than anyone could have expected. In mid-January, Shai had the best game of his young career, recording 20 points, 20 rebounds, and 10 assists in a 117-104 win over the Minnesota Timberwolves, becoming only the second player in the last 30 years to record a 20-20-10 triple-double. The Thunder finished 5th in the Western Conference with a 44-38 record, and Shai was the team's leading scorer, averaging 19 points per game. The Thunder faced the Houston Rockets in the opening playoff round and lost by only 2 points in the decisive Game 7. The Thunder lost that series but got the new face of the franchise. Following the season, Presti had no doubts that Shai could take over the leadership role on the team and decided to make the team younger by trading Chris Paul, Dennis Schroeder, and Danilo Gallinari to get high picks in the draft. Shai had an excellent start to the 2020-21 season and scored a career-high 42 points in a 102-99 win over the San Antonio Spurs. However, only 35 games into the season, he suffered a foot injury and was ruled out for the season. That was a huge blow for the young Thunder squad, as Shai led the team, averaging 23.9 points, 5.9 assists, and 4.7 rebounds per game. Despite the injury, the Thunder signed Shai to a 5-year, $172 million rookie extension, once again showing that he is the face of the franchise. Shai came back just in time for the 2021-22 season and proved that he is on top of his game, scoring the game winner against his former team.
Finds Shai. Shai steps back on the three. On the run!
Unfortunately, once again, he finished the season early with an ankle injury, after averaging 24.5 points, 5.9 assists, and 5 rebounds in 56 games. The Thunder had the second worst record in the Western Conference, but that was just a part of Presti's big plan. In the 2022 NBA Draft, the Thunder selected Chet Holmgren 2nd overall and Jalen Williams with the 12th pick. These two guys will be the key additions to Shai, and will give Presti the primate among the general managers in the league. After a pair of injury-prone seasons, Shai came back better than ever. The 2022-23 season definitely put him among the top players in the league. Early in the season, he tied his career high, dropping 42 against the Washington Wizards, including this game winner.
Gives it to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. His step back three. Oh, he hits! Shai Gilgeous-Alexander!
Only a couple of weeks later, he did the same to the Blazers, and there was no doubt that SGA is taking over the league. At that point, his former Clippers coach, Doc Rivers, came out publicly saying that he regrets trading Shai to the Thunder. Many found this statement strange, since no coach publicly admits his mistakes. But Shai was just that good, that even Paul George admitted that the Thunder won that trade.
Shai is, I think initially when that trade happened, no one saw. We knew Shai was going to be really, really good, but he's special. And so, I guess, in a way, Oklahoma won that trade.
More than deserved, Shai made his first All-Star appearance and, most importantly, managed to finish the season without any major injury. He was the 4th leading scorer in the league, averaging 31.4 points per game, finished 5th in the MVP voting, and was named to the All-NBA First Team. He became the 2nd guard in NBA history, behind Michael Jordan, to average at least 30 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 1 blocked shot while shooting at least 50% from the field. However, the Thunder missed the playoffs for the 3rd straight year, but the pieces started to fall to the puzzle. Going into the 2023-24 season, the Thunder still had one of the youngest rosters in the league, but these guys were ready for a fight, and Shai took his game to another level. He dropped 40 points against the Golden State Warriors and scored this game winner against the Nuggets.
Piercing, spinning, hanging for the lead, and SGA knocks it down with just under a second to go.
He was named a starter for the 2024 All-Star Game and set a new Thunder franchise record of 51 30-plus point games in a single season. He finished 2nd in the MVP voting behind Nikola Jokic, was the 3rd leading scorer, averaging 30.1 points per game, and again was named to the All-NBA First Team. The Thunder finished the regular season with the best record in the Western Conference, with 57 wins and 25 losses, and Shai was back in the playoffs for the first time since his rookie year with the Clippers. They swept the Pelicans in the opening round, before colliding with the Dallas Mavericks. The entire world was watching the matchup between Luka Doncic and Shai, and the Mavericks closed out the series in 6 games.
Williams, no, and the Dallas Mavericks, for the 2nd time in 3 years, are going to the Western Conference Finals.
With the lesson learned, the Thunder came back for the 2024-25 season. Sam Presti added Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein to the roster, making them the best defensive team in the league. Early in the season, Shai had another impressive performance against his former team, dropping 45 points on the Clippers, and did the same against the Pacers, which helped him to capture Player of the Month honors in back-to-back months for November and December. Going into 2025, the Thunder defeated the defending champions Boston Celtics, 105-92 for a franchise record 15 straight wins. Following the All-Star break, and his 3rd consecutive appearance, Shai took his game to another level as he became the 9th player in NBA history to score at least 50 points 3 times in a 7-game span. Shai finished the regular season as the first Canadian to lead the NBA in scoring and the third international player to achieve the feat, after averaging 32.7 points per game. He finished the season with the most 20-point games, 30-point games, 40-point games, and 50-point games. And most importantly, he was named the league
MVP.
The Thunder finished the season with the league-best 68-14 record, which tied them for the 6th best record in NBA history. This Thunder team was as good as it gets, and this was Sam Presti's best chance to win the title in his 18th season as the team's GM. The Thunder started strong, sweeping the Memphis Grizzlies in the opening playoff round. The Nuggets pushed the Thunder to the limits in the second round, taking the series to the decisive Game 7, but OKC dominated that battle, winning 125-93. The Minnesota Timberwolves were the Western Conference Finals opponents, but that series was a one-way street with the Thunder getting the job done in 5 games. Against all expectations, the Indiana Pacers were the team coming out of the East, and the NBA Finals series didn't start well for the Thunder.
Pulling up and hitting. It's good. It's good.
However, Shai and the rest of the crew proved that they could control the series and won the championship after winning Game 7, 103-91. That was the peak of the Thunder's long path to the top of the league with Sam Presti in charge. He had guys like Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and Paul George to lead the team, but none of them could do what Shai did.
For the first time in 25 years, the same player won the regular season MVP, the scoring title, and now he's your finals MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
On the way to winning his first championship, Shai had one of the most successful individual seasons. Knowing how good Shai and this Thunder team are, this was probably the first of many championships. Presti's basketball mastermind and patience took the team to the top of the league, and he knows who the key player is who will keep them there. Following the season, Shai signed a record-setting 4-year, $285 million extension that would give him the highest single-season average salary in NBA history. Being only 27 years old, Shai has just entered his prime, and most likely will witness the new NBA dynasty led by the Canadian kid, who was once cut from his high school junior team.